Welcome back. You made it through the first few missions. Isn't that awesome? Hope you're enjoying your journey until now. And in this mission, we're going to go into how data analysts go about collecting the data that they need in order to inform the business decisions that they are recommending. So, in the first mission of this module, we're going to look at how business analysts gather stakeholder requirements. The first step for any business analyst, as I had mentioned earlier, is to be curious and is to ask questions. For business analysts, we call these discovery questions because they help you discover the issue that is at hand. So, some of the discovery questions that business analysts may ask to stakeholders internally is what are your biggest competitors in market if they're doing like a SWOT analysis or a competitor analysis. What are the biggest challenges for the business over the next 3, 6, 12 months? And that's normally asked when they want to know whether the business is going to make a profit or to recommend some changes in the future to help the profitability of the business. What is the key objective of this task is another question that's not asked too often. And that's really important because you can't just go straight into solution mode. You need to ask this question in order to understand why you're actually being asked by the business to perform that task. And sometimes when you're delivering the outcome of your solution, you need to understand whether a document would be enough or whether a more visual presentation would be enough. So, to understand that, you need to understand who you're actually presenting to. So, if the solution is for the C suite, you need a punchy deck or a few slides that tell them about the issue at hand, your findings, and your solution. Whereas if you're doing it at a more practitioner level, you can go more in depth. You can create a full document, full plan for them, and you can create some slides for them to make them understand what the solution should be. So it's very important to understand what level of your audience is and what the expertise of your audience is before you start to craft out a solution. So you've asked the discovery questions, you've got some data back. Now, what do you do? Well, you dive deep into the data. By this time, you've asked why you're performing a current task, what the outcome of the task should be, and now you have all the data that you need. So, in order to deep dive in the data, you have to perform a few steps before that. You need to clean the data. You also need to have your own assumptions. So when you're doing something like a competitor analysis, you have seen what the competitors are doing out there. So you have gathered some data and have your own assumptions on what the solution should be like. It is very important to use all of your discovery questions that you're asking towards the beginning to come to those assumptions, but then also make more assumptions as you start deep diving into the data. And most importantly, a key trait of the business analyst is the storyteller. So focus on how you're telling the story. Are you saying it through visuals? Are you creating slides? Are you creating a dashboard as your outcome? It is very important to tell the story in a very clear and concise manner so that it is digestible by all levels of the business and it is easy to action upon for the business as well.